Sorry.
In fact, we have protested to the Lagos State government about the state of affairs in our union. Being a law-abiding and responsible citizen, we have decided to explore all avenues for peace in the interest of all. We will not support any action that can threaten the peace that we cherish so much in Lagos State. Therefore, I, Comrade Musiliu Akinsanya Aka Mc, on behalf of the State Administrative Council, State Executive Council, SEC, members and the entire union, rank and file members of the NURTW, Lagos State Council, with over 200 branches and zones, hereby resolved to 1. In the national body of NURTW for peace to reign in Lagos State. And 2. Write to Lagos State Governor, Lagos State Ministry of Transportation, MOT, and other relevant agencies about our decision. It is important to state that our action is in line with Section 40 of the Constitution.
So it's no longer news. The National Union of Road Transport Workers has suspended the chairman of their Lagos chapter, known as, his name is Musiliu Akinsanya, popularly known as MC Oluomo. He was suspended by the National Union of Road Transport Workers for what they called, or what they termed as insubordination, misconduct, and incitement. It was gathered that MC Oluomo who is the Lagos State chairman of the organization, was suspended shortly after his supporters staged a protest against the national leadership of the union over what they termed unnecessary interference into the state affairs. MC Oluomo, as we speak, have been placed on indefinite suspension to prevent chaos, trouble, and confusion in Lagos State, as he was already inciting members of the Lagos State chapter of National Union of Road Transport Workers against the union, an act that is against the constitution of the organization. So MC Oluomo has now been ordered to hand over to his deputy and submit all union materials in his possession. So MC Oluomo, the chairman of the National Union of Road Transport Workers in Lagos State, in his reaction to his indefinite suspension, ordered that in fact he gathered his members that they are now pulling out of the National Union of Road Transport Workers. They want to now be on their own. According to them, they have withdrawn their membership from the national body. The decision to withdraw from the national body was announced today in a meeting. Like, I'm still going to play the video. You will listen to their withdrawal announcement. Akinsanya or MC Oluomo said all attempts to have an amicable resolution to the crisis with the national body have failed. In fact, he said members have protested the Lagos State government about the state of affairs in the union. He called on Lagos State government to take over the running of the affairs of the union with the constitution of a park management committee for motor garages and parks in the state, thereby ensuring peace and tranquility pending the determination of the matter in the interest of the good people of Lagos State. So, what I'm trying to understand is this: is he pulling out of a national union to stand alone as a national union or as a state union? This is a union he did not form. It's something that is, let's say, federal, and you're just the chairman of the state chapter of the union. Not even that you are the chairman of, let's say, Eastern Zone or Western Zone or Northern Zone. You're only the chairman of the state chapter of National Union of Road Transport Workers, and you want to pull out. But as we speak now, I also learned that the police have ordered their members to beef up security and maintain visibility in their area of coverage. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alabi, had directed all area commanders and divisional police officers to beef up security. The order followed the indefinite suspension of the Lagos State chapter chairman of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, that's MC Oluomo, over alleged misconduct, insubordination, which I have already said earlier. Because they are afraid that he could incite the members of the state against the apex body. So, Sahara report has also reported that the decision is predicted on the crisis that usually follows a change of leadership in the Transport Workers Union, particularly in the southwestern part of Nigeria. So, anytime they are changing the National Union of Road Transport Workers leaders, anytime the national body is changing those in charge of the state, there is always a crisis, majorly in the southwest. So for him to say that he is pulling out of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, maybe to stand alone, maybe as he's pulling out now, maybe the Lagos State chapter will no longer be National Union of Road Transport Workers. It will be MC Oluomo Union of Road Transport Workers, or Musiliu Union of Road Transport Workers, or Lagos State Union of Road Transport. I don't get it. So his action has actually proved that what they accused him of is true. He was accused of insubordination, and he just manifested that. He was relieved of it, like he was suspended, because he was inciting his members to protest against the union, national union. I mean, the state chapter is protesting against the national union. That the national union is interfering. The apex of the union is interfering in the state. Why wouldn't they interfere? Why wouldn't they look into what is happening in the state, in the lower chapter of it? This is the highest chapter. So the highest chapter is supposed to look into what is going on in the lower chapter of the union. And he's saying he's pulling out. He gathered his members, and in fact, this is like a joke. To me, it's a joke. We are going to see what happens, because if he has been suspended indefinitely, he is to hand over to his deputy. All this what we call show off won't work. You cannot just as a state chairman of a union that is national, and you pull out, and then you want to stand on your own. Are you going to create another union that will be national? Or are you going to have another union separate from the one that is national? This is crazy. MC Oluomo should just hand over to his deputy just as he has been directed. Because this is not the first time the union is changing the chairman of a state in this trade workers union. It's not the first time, and it's always violent. That's why the commissioner of police and all the divisional police heads in Lagos have been ordered to beef up security, so there won't be problem. And many also are complaining. Many people are already complaining about the union. Many workers in this National Union of Road Transport Workers, they're already complaining. So what I expect him to do, maybe to challenge his suspension, or even go to court or whatever. Than for him to say that he's never done. What is he pulling out from? If he's pulling out from a state union, I think we could understand that. Is he going to form a union of his own or something? So it's really crazy.